Welcome into Let's Talk Shop. My name is Steve. In our last episode, we wrapped up the Headliner series. Today, we're going to look at the marker lamps. We're going to weigh restoring the original equipment marker lamps versus putting on reproduction marker lamps. Funny thing about this episode, marker lamps is one of the first things I started working on in 2011 when this project began. And they're finally done. It wasn't a hard project. I was just working on a little bit by little bit. And in the meantime, I moved like 4 or 5 times. So we're going to have a little fun and play. Let's count the workspaces for these marker lamps. So go brew yourself a cup of joe or pop open a cold one. Let's talk shop. Original equipment, Mazda RX3, front and rear marker lenses. What I'm going to do is, first of all, there's a guy on eBay selling reproductions of these for pretty cheap. They're like 16 bucks or something. It's a small price to pay. And what I'm going to be getting and using are the little gaskets for the frame and the light socket. So, small price to pay. And in order to make these puppies look pretty again, just very carefully pry up the backing. And there's gooey shit holding all this together. What I'll do is I'll clean the plastic for the lens, make it all nice and pretty. I'm going to bead blast the frame, send it off, get it chromed. It's going to be looking brand new by the time I'm done. First things first, they need a soap and water bath. I'm gonna do this shit while the missus is away. Got a cow. You washing auto parts in the sink. So the bulk of this glue will come off with the hot water. Don't worry about little remnants. You can scrape that off later with a gasket scraper. All kinds of gaskets and glue and gooey shit to get off of these puppies. These are the base plates for the marker lights on a Mazda RX3. These are fresh out of the powder coat booth. I'm experimenting with a chrome powder. This is a chrome powder from Cardinal Paints in San Jose. It's an 80% gloss chrome. Experimenting with it on a part that doesn't really matter. And, the stock base plate is just a dull tin. So I was thinking, well, if I can get this stuff to really work well, then that would be great for the reflectivity of my tail or my marker lights. That was the plan, but I'm finding that it's a little dark.
As far as the bezels go,
I thought I was doing good. I was getting them stripped and ready to re-chrome, and then the guy in LA that purportedly does re-chroming of plastic, I sent it all off to him and he said, yeah, I can't do these. What the heck? That's when I realized I needed to send it off to Australia. I'm so grateful there's an expert like Dave at Restore Moz who knows how to bring these back to brand new again. These are my original light socket and connecting wires from the marker lights. They're cleaning up pretty nice. Now, I have new ones, aftermarket. I think I'm going to use the originals though, because I can. Okay, what we've got here are the reflectors. These are OEM reflectors off my Mazda RX3. And we're going to be taking these to the buffing wheel to make them pretty, make them look brand new. Now, one thing that we do have, let's talk about the aftermarket reflectors you can get for the RX3. These, I believe, are made in probably Taiwan or somewhere over there. You do need a set of the aftermarket reflectors, and here's why. Because they come with a brand new gasket, and the gasket is a perfect fit for the OEM reflectors. Yeah, it's a nice, thick, brand new gasket that it comes with. And it's varying thickness too. You'll notice it's fairly thin on one edge, thick on the other, and that was OEM. That's how they came. Yeah, it's worth picking up a set of these. Go ahead and get them. And as you can see, the reflector is different on the aftermarket one. You know, you can tell 50 yards away, oh, you got the aftermarket ones on your car. But I'm going to go with the OEM ones. I'm going to polish them up a little bit, and they're going to look brand new when I'm done. Let us continue the marker lamp project, shall we? Something so simple, it could have been done in a day, and yet it persists. Okay, so these are all original reflectors. They all look really good. This one has a little scratch here. This one's fine. This one's fine. This one has a scratch here. I'm going to hit both of those with some 600. Fairly shallow scratches. That seems like it came right off. Let's hit this guy. Looking good. Yeah, that came right out. Very good. 600 working. So now it's a little dull. I'm going to hit it with probably 1,000 or 15 just to kind of bring back some shine to these. 1,000. Just little spots here. Easy. Scratch gone. I'm going to buff these two reflectors that I just took the waterproof sandpaper to. Now, I should have like a blue brick for plastic for some final high luster, but I don't have that. I'm using my white rouge. Super gentle. Super gentle. It is giving me a high luster shine, so we're good. Happy. Alright, and this one just needs it on the corner. On the corner. After buffing where I wet sanded, it looks better than the rest of the reflector, so I'm just going to hit the whole thing. I like it to be uniform. Okay, let's take note here that the aftermarket ones are a flat lens. OEM lens is, it's got this little aerodynamic angle on it. See how it tapers? And it's got a different pattern. You know, it says SAE on there. So the OEM ones do have that taper, and I believe they intend for them to go in a certain spot on the car. There is a left and right and front and rear, so test fit these before you go gluing it together. For example, this one is right rear or front left, and it's because of the shape that they have and the direction they need to be put on the car. So be careful about that before you permanently use your glue. So I've got some premium silicone glue. It's clear. Gonna use that. I've thought about using a gasket maker silicone sealant for silicone gasket maker, but all I have is black. And I've decided to use this clear stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Let's put these bad boys together. Let's get a bead glue going here. Front left, making sure doing this right. Now they do have to be in a specific spot, so you can't just go throwing this stuff together and then find out later, uh-oh, I got it on the wrong side. So don't do that. Don't be that guy. Okay, here's that. Now for this component. At this point, I can only put my hands on 3 of the bulbs, so I'm going to install those, keep looking for the rest. The screws that came with the markers that I took the gaskets from, not going to use them. I've got all the original screws that I had re-chromed. Going to use those. The rear marker lamps get a screw with a nut, and the fronts have a sheet metal screw. I don't know why that is. So if anybody knows why the front marker lamp gets a sheet metal screw and the rear marker lamp gets a stud and a nut, would love to hear about why that is. So comment section down below. Educate us all on that one, please. Alright, let's get this one going here. Thin part goes on this edge for the gasket. Thick section on the bottom here. There's the thick, there's the thin. we go. So some final thoughts. The gaskets I used from those imported made in China marker lamps, bought them for the gaskets. They are thick enough that, you know, that's sticking out pretty good. Those are thick gaskets. I am confident there won't be any water ingress into the marker lamp or inside the trunk or boot. So I'm pretty happy with the result, although I do find it odd that it's so thick, and it isn't just that one. You know, I'm finding it to have a little bit of a gap on all four of them. This one's not so bad, but yeah, thick gasket, maybe it's good. I'm happy.
I'm an individual.